Now, it's been a few weeks since my last Magia, Etc. video. That video was the review, when I went over how I felt about the game, along with what I think should be fixed. I'm happy because some of the things I suggested actually managed to happen. It shows that other people were suggesting this too, and they listened. But I would not be making this video if it was all over. No. Today, we're going to go over every positive and negative I have about this game. No early game experiences, just straight up critiques. Let's get started. First, we look at the positives. Magia, etc. has a good pity system. It's one of those pity systems in the lesser played games like Nikke, where the rates are extremely common in comparison to other games. It seems like around 4 temples for a 5-star. I'm not exactly sure if that's true because of how the rates are worded. They're kind of worded very weirdly. But by the looks of it, it seems that way. I'm also a bit unsure on whether there's any guarantees after a failed attempt at getting the right 5-star. Because I was able to get Puella and Madoka Magica after failing the 50-50, but I'm unsure whether or not that was my luck or just the game. I'm not gonna make assumptions off of some speculation. Now, that aside, since this is Madoka Magica, the stories are good stories. Event missions were also pretty entertaining, but there is one problem with the stories that I'll address later. I think you already know that issue's gonna be. Now, it can't be a gacha game without its signature energy system. And it's kinda good, it's almost perfect. About every 5 hours you can come back, log in, skip a battle, and get some rewards. It takes no time at all. Probably like 6 seconds at most. And you do get quite a good amount of drops from doing this. Counting the total by, looking at the refreshes, the time is every 5 hours, so that means, counting 24 hours, you can do your dailies about 3 times or 4 times a day. Now, their generosity is pretty good. Multiple times in the same week, we got multiple 5-star keys. They also gave away 3,000 gems, which is a temple, quite a few times, just to say sorry for what they've done. Now, I do kind of like that they're able to do this without any sort of issues, unlike some other games, of course. And finally, this game has great quality. Some of the animations are reused, but the ultimates, the effects, are quite solid. Now, I wanted to get this part out of the way to prove to you guys that what I'm about to say doesn't prove that I hate the game. I see the positives in this game. I absolutely do. Being able to like a game means being able to see its flaws and tell the company what those flaws are. If you can't do that, you'll be struggling to like a shit game for the past 5 years. Before we go over the negatives, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more content like this. Now let's continue. Now, earlier the first thing we mentioned was the banner system. Well, I have some more to share about it. The multi-banners they keep doing are miserable to pull on. I hate them so much. In my review video, I suggested that if they were to do a multi-banner system, they should make it so you can select what you're trying to obtain. Because, when I failed to get the 5-star one on the Homura Akemi banner, which was the first banner, I had to build my pity back up again, just to get another 5-star I wasn't even going for. If I were to have failed a 50-50 and I still wouldn't even be guaranteed to get the thing that I'm going for, I would lose my shit. It's like how in Genshin, they changed the weapon banner after someone got 13 Wolf's Gravestones. That's not all though. Rates aren't explained well to begin with. And while you may be able to do the math, they don't tell you whether or not there's a guarantee after a failed 50-50. They need to tell you what the exact rates are so you can plan accordingly and have a decent pulling experience. Now, enough about the banners. Let's talk difficulties. Higher difficulties should give higher rewards, considering the fact that these difficulties are the hardest parts of the game, especially when you can't really level up past 50,000 power. They should give you a little more than just a few drops. Plus, that's not even the biggest issue with that. There's less stages on Nightmare and Battle stages. They make up for this by making secondary extra stages, but that's not enough! Here's an example. The Yuasa of Anonymous AI has 40 treasures to obtain in the base stage. Do you want to guess how many treasures there are in the Battler mode? 12. Now, While treasures may not matter all that much, it shows how many stages there are in total to earn from. You can see the difference, since in battle mode, there is more than 3 times less you can earn from the stages. That's absurd. Now, while I'm glad that the updates are coming, things like banner updates are way too quick to keep up with. As I'm trying to pull Homura, a new unit comes out, and by the time I'm getting the next unit, they're already about to leave the f***ing banner. That's an exaggeration, but that's what it feels like. It's even worse that pity doesn't transfer between limited banners, because you have to start all over again with the next banner you try. That is extremely frustrating. The events are stale. There's only a few battles and some story, and sometimes a score battle. This is not a good consistency to have. More variety is a must, because it allows the devs to try new forms of content while still keeping the game fresh. For most gachas like Star World and Wuwa, they use their endgame and events as ways to figure out what can spice the game up, or the next characters. For Magia, etc., it's clear stage, clear stage, clear stage. Oh wait, this stage is slightly harder than the last one. Clear stage. It gets old very fast. And with the release of new story, the main story missions are not voiced. Meanwhile, the units from the stories are voiced. Now, if there's something I'm missing here, please let me know in the comments below. But from my viewpoint, it's just stupid as f***. I'm pretty sure that the Zero update is soon, which is where we get some Rebellion content mixed into the mix. I will be beyond frustrated if they decide not to voice that, because you guys have got to understand. With a brand new and unique story like Madoka Magica, it not being voiced rids the plot of a lot of seriousness and makes the deep moments look bad. This right here is probably my biggest gripe of the game, and it's so frustrating. As you can see, although I like the game, I have some issues with it. Luckily, the devs seem to be listening to the community, so I'm optimistic in the possibility of some of this being fixed in the future. But yeah, that's about it for today's video. If you enjoyed, please be sure to like the video and subscribe for more Gacha Gaming content. We're trying to reach 500 subscribers, so subscribe to make that possible. Comment down below what you see next and check out my community tab and Discord for updates on other kind of videos. Be sure to also check out my Twitter. I shitpost, Fire Free Creators, and some dumb essays, so check that out as well. And with that, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.